Hedgerowshire Limited Broadcasting Megacorp.
We'll start with the unimportant notice. This is beneficially announced to the viewing public according to the Inefficiency Act, Part 2, Clause 11, as defined by the Ministry of Internets. Why are you wasting valuable time reading this? It's quite astonishing that you've gotten this far. You may now return to your dreary routine. The unimportant notice has ended.
Go ahead.
All right. Good morning. Is this just our test shot for the screen test for check lighting and sound and all that good stuff? I'm assuming it is, because, well, I don't want to get started on my major story, which is going to be so fabulous until I know for sure that we are good to go. What do you say, producer? Well, looks like we're rolling. Hello, welcome to the Duchess show. How are things? Well, as you know, I'm here in the Duchy, so everything's quite fabulous. And I have some very exciting news to share with you today.
The Duchess Show, starring the Duchess of Hedgerowshire. The Duchess Show is filmed before a well-behaved studio audience.
Unleash the hounds. The Admiral's out at sea right now. Send for Mims in the turnip basket. Time to feed the baby hippo. You know, the Duke really objects to the hounds pissing around the cast, and I really can't stand listening to any more of his whinging. So, I have to share a story with you today. It's going to be the story of the tea cakes, and I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. But you'll see the tea cakes that are very pretty, going to be delicious. We have a bowl of lemons, which I love to have a bowl of lemons around the house, in almost every room. They just make things smell so fresh. And the hippos do eat them, and that was why we ran out, unexpectedly, and I needed some. So I was going to send someone from staff to the store to get some. And the problem is that the cook only cooks, and the scullions were too busy scrubbing pots and pans, I guess, out in the scullery, and the driver drives, and the footmen were busy with silver. Mims could not be found. He can always be trusted to do this. And as a last resort, I thought, well, the Duke could go. He does have problems. He will get everything on the list, but he'll also bring back a lot of other items that he finds that are on sale. Like, he might come home with 5-gallon jars of pickles. Or, you know, those little umbrellas they put in your cocktails, little paper umbrellas. One time he came home with a gross of those. So I'm amazed we ever ran out of those. But we had a big party one time. We put several of them in every drink, and we were good to go. So I couldn't send the Duke because he had an unfortunate incident. Earlier, we went out for a bite to eat at one of the local food trucks, and they had these epic-sized portions of things, like, oh, there was the whole enchilada, and the Duke decided that he would take on the gutbuster burrito, which was, in retrospect, a mistake. So he was completely out of commission, unable to go to the store and buy 5 gallons of pickles and some lemons and tea cakes. So it was up to me. And it was late at night. And I don't do well at the grocery store, even at the best of times. So I had gathered the lemons, and I was over in the bakery area. I had the tea cake table right in front of me. and there was a whole box right there of the very best tea cakes right in front of me. And I said, well, this is the box that I'm going to buy. When I noticed, approaching me, this other shopper. And this person was only shopping for tofu, Cheetos, and a Mountain Dew. But I could see them headed for the tea cake. And they were looking at the tea cakes as well, but I was closer, so I grabbed the best package. And this was totally uncalled for, because I did it politely. I just grabbed the best package and put it in my cart. And just as I was wheeling away, this person called me a bitch. Now, do you think I would put up with something like that in a grocery store late at night? Of course not. I turned right around and I said, well, bitch. I am a bitch. Is that what you said? Well, if buying tea cakes makes you a bitch, then I guess I'm a bitch. And there is an I in bitch, but there is a U in cunt. And I turned around and walked away, and I spat and I said, that's right, because they were still staring at me in disbelief. And I said, that's right. What are you looking at, you cunt? And I kept on going with my purchases, and so you there who were shopping at the grocery store late at night, you need to go earlier in the day when the other rude assholes are shopping, so that you can all get together and be rude assholes to each other and leave the rest of us alone while we're shopping later. I don't know. I guess that was all that I had to tell you about the tea cakes. Now we have tea cakes. So, I think it was well worth it, even though I wouldn't care to go through that again. You shocked that I cussed? Well, no, don't be shocked. It is something that duchesses do. You see, we have to. It's the whole principle of being eccentric. You see, because I have all this elaborate speech patterns and I rant on and on at other times, but you can completely do that with swear words too. If you know enough good ones, and you're very good with the adjectives that, you know, describe the curse words and the adverbs that modify them and all those other things, you can really string together a very impressive and elegantly couched flow of epithets with their entourage of adjectives and really impress the hell out of people with your cursing abilities. There are two types of people who are best at swearing. One of them would be sailors, and the other would be duchesses. We are absolutely the best at swearing, and I happen to be very skilled, even for a duchess, because I am the daughter of an admiral, and an admiral is just a really, really good sailor. So they have to know every curse word in almost every language of the waters that they sail to in order to become an admiral in the first place. And trust me, all my years of living with the admiral, I've heard them all. So I can really string them together. And I just, at this moment, would like to give a shout out to the former series HBO's Deadwood. It was really quite exemplary in that way. Best use of cursing in a series ever. If there was an award for that, which perhaps we will have the Duchy Awards soon, and we will give them to old books and movies and things like that, music, things like that from a long time ago that doesn't suck like things do now. And that will be us making a point of everything now sucks and doesn't even deserve any kind of a puny little Duchy Award. Yes, that will show them. So,
The Duchess Show is brought to you by the United Biscuit Company, the makers of Twiglet, and Classic Tipton Sales, and Mona Bloodstock Agency.
Joe Duchess, book reviews on YouTube. Well,
What about them?
well, I think I should address something. The book Great Expectations. I read it quite some time ago, and the problematic thing with it is that the very best part of the book comes in early, because Miss Havisham's house was absolutely frightening. I was terrified of the cake with the spider webs in it. Worst thing I'd ever heard of at that point in my life. And then we go on and other things happen to Pip, but I was like, well, the rest of it was nothing compared to Miss Havisham's house. How could any child go to a place like that and not be completely morbid for the rest of their lives? So Pip is lucky he got out when he did, even though he had the money problems and irresponsible fiscal irresponsibility problems and all those other things. Nothing compares to what happened to him at Miss Havisham's house. So the story ends happily. You'll be glad to know. At least I think it did. At any rate, he never had to go back. So as far as I'm concerned, happy ending. Charles Dickens, 3 stars. Liked it, but, wasn't completely crazy about it. Could have been better. Yes. So, the story of how I met the Duke. It was back in the 80s, which were a magical time, I can tell you about. And I was at a concert, and where I come from, we don't have mosh pits, and we don't do slam dancing. We just, we remain in our chairs, clap politely, and during the really big numbers, we do a bit of sitting down type dancing. So, it was our Tony Basil show, and she was doing her big hit, Mickey. So, I was rocking out the way we did back then, and I was singing along and dancing in my chair. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blew my mind, hey, Mickey. And then I happened to see this chap across the room, and I was looking at him as I was singing, and it just so happens that it was the Duke, and his third middle name is Michael, so it could have been, actually, he could have been Mickey. And that's what I thought later, but at the time, that was what he was thinking. He was thinking, does she know my third middle name is Michael, and she's singing Mickey to me? Is she trying to pick me up? That's what we did. That was before the days of hookup. She's trying to pick me up. So, no, I just played hard to get after that, but I'd gotten his attention, and that was quite enough. So, that is a very good story of how I met the Duke, and it's so romantic. I still like to tell that story whenever anyone likes to hear it. Thank you, Wanda. Blah, 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 yap, yap, yap. That's what I did. And, then the Duke saw it, and he said, oh, but that really is a good story. If you want to tell it, go ahead. Now, the cat story. That sucks, because you never get a cat that makes a little. That's all I got to say. 2 of them are worse than 1. Try to get that one good cat that you never see or hear. I really like her a lot, wherever she is right now. Really appreciate her very much.
This has been a Hedgerowshire Limited Broadcasting Megacorp production.